What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at this brand new 2022 BMW 750i. Huge shout out and thank you to Hendrick BMW of Northlake. They're providing this new BMW 7 Series for today's video. Check out the link to their website in the description below. They have a huge selection of the brand new BMW lineup, so definitely check them out. And the model that we're looking at today features the xDrive all-wheel drive, is finished off in Dravet Gray Metallic, and has an MSRP at $121,000. Underneath the hood, the 750i utilizes a 4.4-liter twin-turbocharged 8-cylinder engine. This pumps out 523 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. The engine is paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission and sends the power to all four wheels, and with a curb weight around 4,800 pounds, you can expect 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds and a top speed at 155 miles an hour. And then running on a 20.6 gallon fuel tank, you can expect 17 miles per gallon in the city with 24 out on the highway. The overall length is 207.4 inches with a wheelbase at 126.4. The width is 74.9 with height at 58.7 inches. And with the M Sport package, this also features a set of ventilated disc brakes in all four corners with 4-piston brake calipers up front finished off in blue and floating calipers in back. The 2022 7 Series is BMW's largest sedan. As you can see, we have a massive kidney-shaped grille right in the center of the front bumper. It's finished off in gloss black on this particular spec, also featuring a forward-facing camera. There's slots in the backside of the grille that'll automatically open when the car needs more cooling to the engine. You'll notice 6 parking sensors within the front bumper, and then a massive amount of large mesh openings to allow even more cooling to the intercoolers and radiators. There's more black trim surrounding everything to really give this an aggressive design, and you can see a safety sensor right in the center. There's also cutouts on the farthest sides of the front bumper to allow air to enter the bumper and pass through out around the front tires. And then the 750i also features a set of BMW LED headlights. They have LED daytime running lights in them with a very cool design, and you can see the projector beams right in the center. The whole front end ties together very nice to give the new 7 Series a bold and muscular design. And then as we make our way to the hood, you can see the BMW logo right in the center, and then very clean body lines on the farthest sides of the hood. You can see how large it is, covering the 8-cylinder engine, and it really ties together the front end luxurious design. And then moving to the side profile, you can see the optional set of 20-inch wheels finished off in a two-tone machine silver metallic gray. They have a really cool multi-spoke design, and they blend really well for the classy look of a 7 Series. You're also going to see another functional vent in this front fender to allow pressurized air in the front wheel wells to escape through this vent. It also has a nice black chrome trim piece that runs all the way underneath the doors to really class up the side. And then there's also a prominent body line going from the headlight all the way through the side profile to the rear taillights. And you get a lot of curved body lines in the side profile to give it a smooth design. There's bulges over each of the wheel arches to give it that wider appearance. And then we have a set of body colored door handles and body colored mirror caps with an integrated LED turn signal as well as a lower camera. And there's more gloss black trim underneath that. You get even more gloss black trim around all the windows to really tie it together. And we get the sunroof up top. And then moving to the rear end of the 750i, you can see these really nice LED taillights that even have an LED bar connecting from one side to the other, going right through the center of this trunk. You can see the blacked out housings as well as the red accents. They have a very clean look, and they protrude outward to give the rear end a wider appearance. There's also 6 more parking sensors within the rear bumper, and we get rectangular exhaust tips with more black trim, and then finishing it up with the xDrive logo on the left side, and then your 750i on the right with your standard backup camera right in the center. So there's a good look at the exterior and some of the specs on this 2022 750i. Comment below, what do you guys think of this 7 Series? This is a really good blend of everything with the luxury performance you get, and of course the styling is pretty nice. So we now have BMW's key fob. If I just tap the BMW logo, we can go ahead and lock the car, and then all I have to do is grab the door handle. It'll automatically unlock, and we can check out this interior. This particular spec features the Cognac Napa leather interior, has a beautiful look, and you're also going to see a lot of wood trim and aluminum accents. If we go ahead and take a look at the door panel now, you can see smooth leather up top with contrast stitching, and then we get wood trim and silver accents. And then taking a look at the center now, it's finished off in this really smooth leather with contrast stitching. We have some padding for the armrest as well, and then your grab handle in front of that. We have all the window controls as well as the sun shades, and then mirror controls in front of that. We have an aluminum colored release handle with your lock and unlock, and then part of the Bowers & Wilkins audio system, as well as some storage down below, your trunk release, memory seating, and the massage seat button. And then moving to the interior, we have an aluminum door sill with the M logo. And then taking a look at the sides of these seats, we have all your power controls on this left side with lumbar support, all the different controls. You can press this button forwards and back to automatically extend and retract this leg rest. We have a really nice combination of smooth leather along the sides with contrast stitching. And then you get some gray piping in the centers with perforated leather all in the centers of these seats. There's a very nice stitching design running through the center. And then making our way up the backrest, you can see all the combinations of the smooth leather and piping, and then all the perforated leather. We have more nice stitching along the backrest of these seats, and then more contrast stitching along the headrest. And then spinning around, we have a black leather steering wheel with silver accents and the M logo. And then now inside the 750i, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. Taking a look at the gauges now, this is a full LCD display. You can see the speedometer over on the left with your fuel level, and then your tachometer and engine temperature over on the right. We also have the navigation screen right in the center popping up with some information over on the right side. If we tap the BC icon over on this left turn signal stalk, you can see a lot of different information come up, like your horsepower and torque, then continuing over to a G meter, and then we have your XM satellite radio. You can also have your drive mode as well as the gear, then continuing over to your MPG. Taking a look at the steering wheel now, we have leather wrapping around the airbag with your BMW logo. All the cruise control settings are over on the left side with a lane keeping assist, heated steering wheel button right in the center, and then a lot of the Bluetooth and audio controls on the right side. We also get a set of steering wheel mounted paddle shifters that have a really nice look and feel. And then to the left of the steering wheel, we have all of your headlight controls, more of the leather and stitching, and some aluminum color. We have one of the air vents up top with more of the wood trim, more black leather along the dashboard. Then you can see your heads-up display right in the center. More black leather and stitching running all the way across the dash. You can see more of the wood trim and silver accents. And then right in the center, we get your two air vents with all of the controls. You can easily adjust the temperature by just swiping this LCD button. And then above that, we have your touchscreen infotainment system. Right now in this home menu, you have it configurable with your navigation screen, some audio and connectivity. If I just swipe over, you can see more information coming up about the actual vehicle. We have all your shortcuts over on this left side for your media, and then you can go to your home button again, tap your communications, see all that information for your phone. You have navigation that'll pop up, very HD display as you can see with pinch to zoom. And if I go ahead and take the car and put it into reverse by pulling this button and pushing it all the way forwards, you can see the backup camera pop up over on the left with a top-down view. And if I just tap the screen over here and hit these little icons, you can get another quarter view of the rear end. You can see how everything changes. Then if I tap over here, if you do the 3D view, I really like this feature with the BMWs. You get a full 360 camera view. Just tapping these different icons, you can get all the different camera angles. And I like how the color of the car is actually matching the real vehicle. So you can get a really good view of everything going on. And then just tapping the P for park will put the car back into park. We have another LCD screen right here with your heated and ventilated seating. Your fan speed is right here. You can easily adjust, and I love how everything shows up on the screen. We do have dual zone climate control that can be easily adjusted. And then on the left side, we have the defrost buttons as well as the max AC. And then on the right, the sync and AC button. We have some radio controls right here, and just swiping your finger along the screen, it comes up on the screen as well, telling you what your presets are. We have your volume button over on the left side, and then your track tuning over on the right. And then below all this, we have two cup holders in the center with a USB and 12 volt. Your wireless phone charging is right here. And if I just press this, it'll nicely close. We have more of the wood grain trim, and all of the leather and stitching has a beautiful design everywhere. On the left side of the shifter now, we have your traction control button, your different drive modes as well. Right now, you can just tap it in for comfort mode. And then even on this LCD display, if I tap sport mode, it gets a little bit more aggressive. And then taking a look under that, we have a shortcut for your parking sensors and camera, as well as the adaptive air ride suspension. You can just tap this button and it'll automatically raise or lower the vehicle depending on which driving mode you're in. And then behind the shifter, we also have your brake hold as well as the park and brake, and then the controls over on the right side. More of this silver trim and leather finds its way towards the armrest. And then if we take a look right here, we have beautiful smooth leather. Just tapping this one button, two different sides open up. We have a lot of space in here with a USB and LED light, and I like how you can individually open and close them so you still have access while someone is using this as an armrest. And then on the right side of the dashboard now, we can go ahead and open up the glove box now. We have quite a lot of space in here with a really large shelf, and then going ahead and closing using that. And then one last look at the overall interior. I think BMW did a really good job just making it super easy to use. Nothing crazy going on in here, but everything you touch is a very high quality material. The Nappa leather looks fantastic on the seats. Then we have a black headliner. You can see the dual sunroofs on top, and then making our way forwards, we have your LED dome lights and then all the controls. And then taking a look at the rear seat space now, if I go ahead and open up this massive door, you can see just how large of an opening we have back here. The door panel's finished off just like we saw up front with the smooth Nappa leather. We have all the aluminum and wood trim. We can open up this right here to have a little bit of a storage container, a nice mesh for the audio system. We have your sunshade buttons and window controls, and then you have a little bit of storage down below, and then a massive LED dome light. Taking a look inside now, we have the same leather with all the smooth leather, perforated, all the piping and everything with the same stitching design. And then taking a look up front, we have some nice amenities like all of your climate controls. You have heated seats back here with all the different zones and fan speed, air vents up top, and a little bit of storage down below with a 12-volt. Alright, so inside the back of the 750i, this is a massive sedan. Sitting back here, I'm 5'11". I already have the driver's seat set at my height, and as you can see, I have well over a foot of knee room, and my feet have plenty of room under here as well. There is a ton of space in the back of a 7 Series. The armrest, as you can see, is huge. I can easily put my arm wherever I want to. It's extremely comfortable. The seats are also at a really good angle. And then even taking a look in the center, if I open this up, we have a nice armrest finished off in more of the smooth leather. And then up front now, if I open this, we have a little bit of storage. And then in the front, we do get some cup holders that easily pop right out. And then closing this back up, taking a look at the sunshades in the car using these buttons. If I go ahead and just tap one of them, the whole side will automatically close, which is really cool for a luxury car. And then you have ones as well for the back. If I press this one, it's going to automatically come up. And I even have an icon right here that'll open and close the sunshade. So I really like how with a car like this, you can really enclose it and be super comfortable in the back. And then to take a look at the trunk space, you can use the button on the key fob, the one on the rear bumper, or the one that's on the interior. This has a ton of space in here, as you can see, very squared off for larger luggage or other items you're gonna need. You have a little bit of a cutout on the left side as well as the right for extra storage, so definitely a lot of space. And then of course you just tap the button and it'll automatically close the trunk. Alright guys, so we are setting off now in the 2022 750i. First and foremost, driving this car literally feels like you are driving a cloud. The air ride suspension is incredibly soft, absorbs every single bump you could think of, and you are completely floating. We also have double pane glass, so the road noise is pretty much gone. There is such a good insulation from the outside elements, and it is so comfortable in this car. You don't hear anything. I can literally whisper and just really enjoy cruising in this vehicle. Visibility is fantastic. You have a really large windshield, and you can see the really large hood as well. The mirrors all do a pretty good job letting me know what's going on behind me. And then looking over your left and right shoulder, you have a lot of glass to make it really easy to see out. There's really no blind spots in the car. I also really like the comfort aspects to it with the power controls for the steering wheel. I can really get this in the perfect place. And then same with these seats. They really do a good job making sure I am perfectly comfortable. Armrest in a great place. Headrest is really comfortable as well. So for normal driving, this is definitely very smooth. Now we do have some performance modes. So if I tap the sport button now, it goes into the sport mode, and the suspension lowers a little bit. The steering wheel is going to get a little stiffer. I can put us into manual mode and then shift using the paddles. The engine gets a little bit louder as well. The adaptive suspension is going to be a little bit more abrupt, and just giving it a little bit of gas. Wow. The V8 is just so effortless with the power you have. Just going around 3,000 RPM, giving a little bit of gas. Wow. It is just such a smooth acceleration with the torque and how the horsepower works. It's just so effortless. And I like with a luxury car like this, that's what it should be. The power shouldn't be abrupt and hit you like a sports car. It should just be a fluid acceleration up to the speed that you want to go. And with this car, that is exactly what I'm finding. Even if we take some turns with this car, this is a massive vehicle. This is a boat on the road. I like how even some sweeping turns like that, it still feels nice and composed. We have a sharp turn coming up. Another cool thing with the adjustable bolsters, in sport mode, you can actually set it to tighten a little bit more on your body, to where if you are going to be going through a mountain pass or somewhere on your road trip, you have the ability to actually do it very comfortably. Taking a sharp turn, wow. That is impressive. You wouldn't think a luxury car like a 7 Series can actually do turns and things like that. Not to say you're going to be taking this on the track and things like that, but it's nice to where if you are going on some sort of road trip where you will be passing through mountains or twisty turns, this car can still do that very well. So we'll go back into comfort mode and put us back into automatic mode. The car kind of tones down a little bit. It never gets crazy abrupt or loud or anything, which it shouldn't, being such a luxurious oriented car. but I like how the car is just so smooth and comfortable to drive. But then from a slower speed now, we're gonna go back into manual. It gets a little more aggressive with the shifting if you're not shifting yourself, but giving it some gas. Wow. And I like with the air ride suspension, the whole car kind of picks up and takes off like a rocket when you do accelerate. It is a very cool way to accelerate in a car. I mean, we're talking a lot of horsepower in this car, and it's funny how a big vehicle, you don't expect to accelerate like that. It has acceleration of a sports car like an M4 or something, and yet in such a luxury-oriented car, it is a much different way it accelerates. It feels really different, but definitely nice and sporty now that we're in sport mode again. And I like how the car actually does get a little bit harder. I can feel the bumps now compared to what I did in comfort mode. That's pretty impressive how the adaptive suspension does that. We have another sharper turn. Wow, getting out of it. Transmission super light and quick as well. And then if I tone us back into comfort and automatic, everything just softens. Acceleration is much smoother. The throttle response is much limited to where it's just very effortless. Steering a little bit lighter, and we are a lot more floaty in the suspension. Oh, wow, that is way different comparing it to the sport mode. And then even in Eco Pro, let's go ahead and go there. We have all blue now on our gauges, and this is extremely efficient now. This is going to be as conservative as possible. The throttle response is way limited now, and it's just an even more comfortable ride in this car. So now that we're back on a normal main road with the cruise control, I love how it has the technology to almost drive itself. If I go ahead and activate cruise control, it'll turn on the radar sensing, all that sort of thing, and then you can go into the assisted driving, and now the car's actually going to do the steering wheel a little bit, of course maintain the pace that's in front of me with the car, and do a pretty good job of actually keeping this car in the center lane. It does light up on the steering wheel telling you that you need to be holding the steering wheel, but it is cool that for a few seconds you could have your hands off the wheel. Of course, safety is everything, and of course you want to be paying attention to what you're doing, but I do like how with a luxury car like this, you can really let it do its thing, and even if you're just touching the steering wheel a little bit, it still is taking this turn. I'm not actually turning the wheel, but just because I'm touching the steering wheel, it's doing everything I need it to do and getting back straight without me touching it. So that is a really cool touch. I love how the 7 Series has all that sort of technology, and the drive. This is so luxurious. That is the biggest thing you're going to notice when in this vehicle. It is so comfortable to be in. With that said, let's hop in the back seat and see what it's like back there. So we have jumped now into the back seat of the 750i. This is where it's at in this car. I have so much room, as you guys saw earlier, endless knee room and foot room. This is a really nice place just to be back here, enjoy the cruise. If you got your kids in the back, or picking up relatives, or taking a business trip and you have colleagues in the back as well, this is where it's at. And then I really love how with all these sunshades, I can of course do that one and do this one just to make it a little bit more comfort in here. And I like how with this center, it really just makes it a nice classy interior if you just want to enjoy the ride in the back. And like we found up front, we are on a pretty bumpy road right now, but it's still nice and comfortable and quiet back here. And I don't see any issues in the back seat of a 7 Series, just enjoying the ride. So I think that is it then for the 2022 BMW 750i xDrive. A really nice sedan overall, and this spec is beautiful. I love the brown leather interior. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content to come. And then a huge shout out and thank you to Hendrick BMW of Northlake for providing this 7 Series for today's video. Check out the link to their website in the description below. They have a huge selection, so definitely check them out. But that's it, guys. I will see you next video.